What's up?
We're back again. It's the CountryBoyz.
Hey, welcome.
We got me, Jeff, the host, right here. We got Matt, the co-host, right over here. We got Jason, the producer, right over there.
Hello.
And again, we're missing Justin, so he's 2 for 4 now. He's trailing the pack. Matt and I still are hanging strong for now, and
the rider dies.
Jason's catching up. So yeah. So last episode we went to St. Kitts and Nevis. Still haven't figured out. It's been a week and we still haven't figured out how to say it. But
Not sure Jason left St. Kitts and Nevis though.
No, I got my Island 5, so.
Yeah,
You look like you belong there. You look like you belong there.
I belong somewhere.
Drinking one of those rum drinks and getting a bowl of, what was it, goat water? Goat water.
Getting some goat water, yeah.
Some goat water.
Getting goat water.
So we've been to a bunch of different places. This episode we're going to Brunei. So it's a place in Borneo, so close to Malaysia, so surrounded by Malaysia, but also close to Indonesia. So we're mixing it up a bit. It's still tropical, so you guys will still fit in. Maybe not as tropical resort kind of place as St. Kitts or Nevis, but it's still hot and humid over in Brunei.
It's all news to me. You named all those countries. I knew where any of them were. I know what Malaysia is, but I don't know where that is.
I think when I was a kid, there was an X-Men cartoon, the animated one, and Cable is the Wild Man of Borneo. Before that, I didn't know what Borneo. I was like, oh yeah, Borneo.
Cable was from Borneo?
Well, he did some things there. Or some adventures happened to him.
Interesting.
There.
Okay.
So that's my first Borneo experience.
I just think of Malaysia from what is that movie with the Zoolander movie? Isn't that where they're making all the fashion is Malaysia?
Oh, is it?
Was that the second Zoolander movie?
No, that's the first one. I
one.
never saw the second one.
Really, I didn't either.
Anyways,
So if you haven't seen the show, we're going through the countries. We're going a different continent at a time. So this is our first one visiting Asia, and yeah, let's go full into Brunei. This place is a wild place.
all right.
It's in Borneo, so it's in Indonesia, Southeast Asia. The capital is Bandar Seri Begawan. It's quite a long name. A lot of the people here, they have long names. So it's fitting that the capital is kind of a long one.
Wait, say that again?
Bandar Seri Begawan. And I'm saying that perfectly with a perfect Brunei accent.
Is that all one word?
I would
No, it's 3 words.
Oh, okay.
And no, I'm completely butchering it.
Bandar.
So this place, a lot of the places we've gone to, they've been really small, really tiny. We started microscopic, got a little bigger. So now we're kind of getting, and again, this is for Asia, but it's not the smallest, but it's one of the smallest places. So this place is about, I only have it in kilometers, so we're going to have to do the math here. But it's about 58,000 square kilometers, but we can relate to this.
How many square?
About the size of Delaware.
Oh.
So we'll go with that.
Yeah, because I've been to Delaware.
You've seen it on a map, though.
Yeah, but I mean...
Okay, so I forgot. For Matt, we have to make everything Florida or Texas based. And
is it as big as Disney World?
we'll make currency conversions into 40-ounce bottles. So you could buy 2,568 40s. So it's 17th smallest by size. Population about 400 some thousand. So we're moving up.
Okay. Yeah.
This place is, it's got a good amount of people, good size. They speak Malay and English. A lot of the people there speak English just because it's been colonized, and they have a very, very high literacy rate.
And Malay is, I'm assuming, Malaysian.
From Malaysia.
Okay.
And so it's a tiny country in Borneo that's surrounded by Malaysia, and then the area of Malaysia is surrounded by Indonesia, and then there's the coast.
Oh,
so
interesting. Like completely surrounded?
You got Brunei, Malaysia surrounding that, and then Indonesia surrounding that.
Oh, no shit.
So it's one of the only islands where there's 3 countries. I think they're in Cyprus, maybe. So
I mean, are they? Is this like a circle thing going on here, where it's like is Brunei
Brunei,
surrounded?
it's all on the coast. So you have the coast,
Okay, all right.
and then Brunei,
Okay,
and everything's coming out from there. So it's not in the center.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
see
like a
what you're saying.
bullseye, but
right.
so this place, they're known for one thing mainly, and it's oil. They got a buttload of oil in this place,
Really?
and that's why they rich. So Shell oil. If you go to a Shell gas station, you're most likely getting some Brunei top notch,
Really?
top grade shit.
Really, because that's the ethanol free usually a lot of times. Like with the motorcycle, they're always like, we're going for ethanol free, you know. And,
Really?
or maybe, I don't know. It is a high quality gas, the Shell gas. I know that.
I think
And
it's
they usually cost a little bit more.
really.
I don't think I ever knew that.
See,
Interesting.
Yeah.
we're learning stuff all the time
Yeah.
on CountryBoyz.
They got it all the time with the prices.
Or we're-
Right.
Just making a ton of stuff up, but
Either way, here you are
Either way.
watching us.
yeah, almost all of the oil that's coming from there is Shell oil. So maybe not all the oil you're getting is Shell oil, but all the oil that's leaving Brunei,
Become Shell oil.
it's Shell oil.
I see.
I think.
Hey, close enough.
Hey,
Hey.
you know
I'm
what?
not questioning it.
Hey, it's a kind of dumb fact just to bullshit. If I was like, let's just say I just made it up.
I'm
I'm
gonna be
like,
a hit at a party with that one. Hey, don't quote
Yeah.
me, but I got some good stuff.
hey, you see that Shell oil comes from Brunei, dude.
17 smallest.
Where did you learn
I learned that on CountryBoyz, man.
Where did
Dude,
you
come
learn
to
that?
our next party. You're great.
So this place, as we said, they have a ton of oil, very high GDP because of it. So about 80,000 per capita.
Nice.
One of the richest countries in the world, and it's kind of similar in a lot of ways to Singapore. They share the same currency, so you can use your currency from Brunei and Singapore.
Interesting.
They're kind of, they're both surrounded by Malaysia, both micro states or countries. So it's a little bit similar. I mean, they're different in a lot of ways too, I think, but
right.
we'll get into that. And so this place, it's a welfare state. So as a citizen, you don't pay any taxes. You get everything, like everybody gets a car there. Everybody gets free education. All the oil money just pays for the citizens.
Interesting.
And there's some arguments, I guess, that it's, maybe not the best, but either way, they're pretty content there because all this oil money's paying for
It's kind of
for
like
them to live. And
universal basic income sort of deal.
right. And it's because they have so much oil. So
Right.
the crazy thing, though, is all the oil is pretty much owned by the Sultan and his family. And so the Sultan and his family he runs everything. So he gives all the citizens all these perks. So he's kind of and we'll get into the Sultan
keeps
now.
them in line, you know?
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of one of the reasoning is a lot of the people seem content. Some don't think it's
Free
fair,
shit. What do you
but
think?
they have one of the most cars per people. Like it's like 1.5 cars for every person, but they get free cars. I read something. It was common for everybody to have 3 cars there because
Each individual?
or each family.
Like a family?
Yeah.
Dang.
So speaking
What kind
of
of cars
this,
are we talking about here?
Lamborghinis. No, I mean
well, you did say a Sultan, so like I'm thinking like
So
Dubai or
they
something like
have
that. They're all
those
just
cars.
the Sultan has
riding
a ton of
around with
cars,
a Ferrari,
but I think the citizens maybe a
like a Hyundai,
Camry or something.
like a okay.
Maybe you have a SUV for the kids, but I don't know.
Huh.
I don't think there's a certain type of car, but it's probably an okay car.
We're going to get that. What's the most commonly driven car in Brunei?
now that's a zinger for you. All right, so this Sultan, this guy Hassanal Bolkiah, I think is how you say his name, but this guy's super rich. His personal wealth is richer than the whole country's worth. So he's worth, I think, almost double what the whole country is. And for so long, this guy was the richest guy. I remember back in the 90s, before Bill Gates it was still Bill Gates, but before Bill Gates was the richest guy in the
Right.
world, the Sultan of Brunei throughout the 80s, 70s and 80s and early 90s.
Before Windows 95.
Yeah, before
Okay,
Windows
this guy-
95. Sultan,
After, just
yeah. He was the richest guy for a long time.
And he just had to find some shit. Did he become the Sultan
Did
or
he-
become rich because he found the oil or because his family sits on this oil?
He's rich because of the oil, but the family's been in power for like 700 years.
Okay.
So he's a descendant.
So they
700
control.
Yeah, they've been
So his family planted the oil,
right.
and now
They killed the dinosaurs
Dude,
700
that's
years ago.
Awesome. Like that's. I wish my family had that kind of history.
That foresight.
Yeah, just like we're stupid.
Well, how about you plant the oil right now, or whatever you just
well, yeah.
suggested? so your kids 700 years from now could be sultans and handing out free Lamborghinis to all their sons.
Whatever the modern equivalent of a
Teslas,
modern
flying
Future.
Teslas.
Yeah, don't you give a shit about your great grandkids in 700 years?
Absolutely not.
You need to plant that oil, dude. Okay, so let's get into this guy. He's an absolute monarch. So this guy, the Sultan, he does everything. He's the prime minister, the finance minister, the foreign affairs minister, the superintendent of police, defense minister, chancellor of the national university.
Ooh, nice.
So they name all these things like
These are his titles.
they give him all these titles like just call him king.
He takes.
Yeah,
them.
well, he's Sultan.
I am everything.
Haven't you seen Aladdin? The Sultan. He's like
But
the
wouldn't-
boss.
I feel like that would get old.
Well, right, but I mean, we don't call Aladdin the Secretary of Defense.
No,
You don't call him that.
Yeah, you should be.
We do.
There's
And I know it's the Sultan gets his way.
No, I've never called Aladdin the superintendent of police.
Secretary of Defense.
But
all the way
it's
up.
crazy, like-
That's a different dude.
If you were this guy, I feel like, why would you want all this responsibility? I mean, you could still be the Sultan, but let somebody else control the police. Have one of your kids or something. I don't know. It's a lot of the chancellor of the national university.
I mean, how many universities are there? One.
Right.
You
but
know what I mean?
Wouldn't I just say, hey,
National
maybe it's just a
University.
I want to go be rich. I don't want to be chancelling this university.
Chancellor.
Right?
No chance, no chance.
So we talked about, what kind of cars are the people driving. This guy's got the biggest car collection in the world. So it's
Better
like
than Jay Leno?
I feel like
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
he's
He-
compensating for something.
He-
that many cars.
his amount of vehicles is worth $5 billion.
Jesus Christ.
7,000 cars.
7,000.
7,000. He's got.
You couldn't even drive one every day. You know?
Are there even 7,000 types of cars?
Well,
I
yeah,
mean-
easy.
He's got like 160 Porsches, 130 Rolls Royces, 360 Ferraris, 170 Jaguars, and I think this is old.
Maybe there
This
are
is,
7,000 different types.
If you have
of
that
cars.
many,
Yeah, that makes sense.
but they're different years. They're all custom
He's
made.
got to
right.
flex, and the other rich
Right.
guys be like, nah,
Yeah, and it's insane
Yeah,
how many
this
cars
one.
this guy
I got
has.
this one, I got this one, I got this one, I got yellow, I got blue, I got purple, I got blurple, I got.
I think too with a lot of rich people where they have a lot of cars, they're more like this guy has a custom made 14 karat gold Rolls Royce limousine.
That
Like
sounds some soul
he's just
shit.
going as extremely lavish as possible.
Right.
He's living in the lap of luxury for sure.
I know Jay-Z had a gold Lexus during his money ain't a thing period, but this guy's got him.
Yeah.
beat,
The Sultan of Brunei, I mean, he makes
Of course,
Jay-Z
Nas,
look like
fuck
a
Jay-Z.
pauper.
Popper.
So on top of
You
that,
hear that, Jigga? You're a popper.
hey,
Country boys are saying it.
I said
We'll invite you on the show to defend yourself, and we'll get the Sultan of Brunei.
Yeah, we could pull that.
Yeah, we're
Kind of a side story about that. This guy's flown in.
I like Jay-Z, so
Yeah, no,
He's talented.
not hating on Jay-Z. We're just saying how rich this guy is. He's flown in the greats: Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston.
To perform for him?
Yeah,
party
just
with him,
private
hang out,
private concerts. I think for his 50th birthday,
Dance, monkey, dance.
swim in my pool. I'm gonna
He-
judge you.
he flew in Michael Jackson. I think he paid him $17 million, and he performed for 3 days
Wow.
for his 50th birthday. So,
How old is this guy?
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Good
um,
question.
in his 70s maybe. He's been the Sultan for a while. I think since 1967. So he's been around. He has 10 yachts, 17 airplanes, 150 mansions in 12 countries. He has a private jet, which is a 747, so a giant aircraft, just one of his planes, and it's completely lined with gold on the interior. So it's
Right.
He's like gold member.
yeah.
Can it fly? I mean, that much gold.
Yeah.
He's got extra.
He doesn't care.
He's got an extra engine. He can buy him. It's not a problem.
And he's got the oil to
Yeah,
spend.
he's
You
got
know,
jet
I mean, like, it
fuel,
doesn't really matter.
Regular fuel.
Right.
Oh. He's got,
None of that ethanol bullshit.
no, he doesn't. He hates corn.
Oh,
He hates corn.
Corn,
You for real?
corn fuels, corn syrup. No,
Yeah.
you get chopped your head off if you talk about.
He's not into the solar panels or none of that. It's all the oil. But if you go to Brunei, you might see he has the largest private palace in the world. And it's got it's like 1,700 rooms.
How many bathrooms?
250 bathrooms.
Wow, I'm really glad you know that. That's gonna be really sad.
I do remember that fact.
Due diligence done.
Yeah.
How many bathrooms?
250.
What the fuck?
I mean,
Which
even if you're taking 3 dumps a day, I'm just kidding.
you got to go with 365 bathrooms though, so you can just shit in each one every day of the year and
Yeah.
have a different theme for it. But
It depends
That'd
on
be heated seats.
the type of stool, which bathroom I'm gonna use. You know.
That didn't.
I
It
don't wanna
didn't
go
compute
down
for
that
5
way.
seconds there.
Yeah.
What kind of stool?
Yeah. You shit on a stool?
Exactly. My brain's not working.
Okay, so just more about this guy. He's seriously like the most luxurious guy of all time, I think. I think we can say that.
Nah, he's definitely sounds like he's up there.
So
Saddam Hussein type of shit.
he's a little bit controversial. So like we said, he gives a lot of the citizens a house and a car, no taxes, all this free education. So compared to most places in the world, I mean, they're getting a lot of stuff for it. So
They probably have a high literacy rate.
yeah, I think it was like 93%. So very well educated, very very well off, especially for a lot of Southeast Asian.
And you said there was like
places.
400,000 people. This is not a small. This is not like Liechtenstein, like 50,000 people or something. This is a
No,
lot.
it's bigger, and yeah, I mean it's a decent population. But one real controversial thing about this guy. So we kind of went over the good stuff. We went over how lavish he is, but he is also very, very religious. So and he's kind of become more religious as he's gotten older. So he's a very devout Muslim. So
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
no, but for him, he enacted Sharia law, which has kind of been controversial in the international
Yeah, I've heard this Clash song.
in the international community. So it's one of the few places where like homosexuality, you can be stoned to death. I don't think they ever have, but that's their policy.
Interesting.
That's a lot of marijuana to kill a human.
They're very strict on drugs. There's no drinking, so there's no bars, no clubs.
No, the club.
So
50 Cent, no powers there. You find him in the
there's a
club.
lot of amenities, but not a lot of nightlife. This isn't a place you want to go party, really.
Yeah. Can you get alcohol there? Is it a dry country? Or?
You can't buy alcohol, but apparently if you're a non-Muslim, you can bring in 2 liters, which is probably enough to party a couple days there.
Hell yeah.
But for the most part, no. You're
Okay.
Again with the metric system. How much alcohol is 2 liters?
okay. This one, you actually buy alcohol in liters.
You know this one. I've seen
You
your
know
limit.
this. There's
Don't
a
shop those
750
aisles.
milliliter, a liter, or a 750.
Oh yeah, that's
You
true.
know, you heard
So
it.
it's the middle bottle.
It's like the saying, I'm pleading the fifth, all 750 milliliters of it. So if that helps you.
So yeah, so that's kind of the Sultan. Just he's kind of the big focal point. Everything you hear about Brunei, everything goes back to the Sultan. But he's got a crazy brother.
Ooh.
I mean, he's got an even wilder. Like this guy is a party animal. So his brother Jeffrey, spelled Jefri. I've seen a lot of Jeffreys, and as a Jeff, there's Goff, Rui, Ray, all this stuff. But I've never seen a Jefri. But this guy, so he's kind of there's a Sultan. He's, I guess, a younger brother. He's just kind of living in his older brother's shadow.
Just chilling.
He's a prince, but this guy mismanaged 15 billion of the country's treasury. He was like their treasurer, and he left the country, spent 750,000 a day for 10 years, and then they're
How
just
do you
like,
expense? I mean, I know you can, but the consistency is impressive.
yeah, I have no idea how. Well, one of the things you can do, this guy bought a yacht and he named it Tits. And then he had 2 smaller boats that came off the yacht that he named Nipple 1 and Nipple 2.
I like the younger brother,
I
right?
think he's the younger. So
Yeah, he's cool.
Jeffrey, yeah, he had a harem of women.
I mean, I know it's New Day, but like that sounds cool.
He's a party animal.
If they're
I mean,
free, they should have freedoms, and I'm not trying to say, but like
just this guy
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
as
that's
a
cool.
separated thing, we'll just say this guy's a party animal.
How old is he? How much younger is he?
I don't know.
really good. We'll figure that out.
You got to
I mean,
tell
is he
us
gonna
out there.
inherit
Tell
his-
us how old Jeffrey is.
Is he gonna inherit his brother's money? Or
So I
That's
think
what I'm wondering. Like, when is this guy getting back in charge?
I don't know for sure, but I kind of feel like this guy's like, oh, I spent $15 billion. He had to pay a lot of it back. And I think they're kind of like, don't give Jeffrey the money anymore. Don't let
Right.
this guy have the money. Because I think he blew his chance.
Yeah.
But the son of the Sultan, apparently he's in line to be the next or the first trillionaire.
Whoa.
So the oldest, I think it's the oldest son. And actually I saw this too. The Sultan's first wife is his first cousin. And they're still married. He's had a couple other...
I mean,
yeah, let that sink in. First wife.
less wealth
first
to
cousin.
divide, though. You know, it doesn't leave the family.
Yeah, no, they're keeping it old school where they're marrying cousins.
Yeah, either does the reproductive organs. They don't leave the family either.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Game of Thrones bringing that back. So
he does under the I guess the Sharia law or whatever. He can have multiple wives, so nobody else in the country can, but he can. So
Nice new rules, dude.
King shit.
Yeah.
So yeah. So and then one other thing just about the Bolkiah brothers. From 1994 to 1997, both brothers were responsible for half of Rolls-Royce's income.
Holy shit.
That's another crazy ass fact.
You mean it wasn't Jay-Z?
He only had 2.
Oh,
He bought some Rolls Royces, but these guys were keeping Rolls Royce alive.
holy shit.
I
Okay.
kind of feel like Rolls Royce is a flex on like even a Bentley, you know.
Oh,
in a
yeah.
lot of cases. So this guy's like, nah, I don't mess with those. Just
Right,
I just
right.
Only buy the most Rolls Royces in the world. So let that sink in.
I mean, I am.
Everyone else, not us.
It's already sunk in for you.
It's already at the bottom of my mental
Okay.
seafloor.
So let's shift away from these brothers. We already know they're super lavish, lap of luxury, living. Let's go into like the physical parts about this place. So they're so rich. The country's so rich. I think 70% of the country is just undeveloped. So they have all this. It's really good land. You know, it's heavily forested, and I think a lot of the people, they want to get more use out of the land, and they're saying, you know, we could grow stuff on here.
Right.
So instead they import everything because they're like, we're so rich, it's just easier for us to import stuff. We don't need to.
Can we just give you money and you can take care of this for us? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I mean, so where's the majority of the population? Are they all on the coast?
most of the population lives in or around Bandar Seri Begawan.
Bandar Seri Begawan. Okay.
Bandar
So most of this
I know, I'm
country,
still trying to
Say it again.
Bandar Seri.
Bandar Seri Begawan.
Bandar Seri Bagel.
But yeah, so it's crazy. 70% of the place. They have a ton of endangered species because it's one of the most undisturbed countries where they just, we have a city, we have oil. The oil's on the coast, so they're not going through the interior. And yeah, they're just buying stuff. They do have I did see they have a pretty high VC rate, so that's probably one of the reasons why. But
they're not working.
They all
They're
got
living
cars
large.
and they don't have to
Yeah.
work. Or does nobody work?
they work, they just get free education. And I think a lot of them work in the oil field.
Like an industry. Yeah. Like here in Texas or something.
Yeah, so there's tons of endangered species. One interesting thing, they have this water village called Kampong Ayer. It's in the city. It's like maybe a district in the city. But they call it the Venice of the East. It's completely on stilts. The whole city. It's not just a bunch of, small little shacks. I mean, these are houses on these stilts, completely on the water. I saw about over 30,000 people live on this area.
Interesting.
And it's unique because there's been a lot of storms, natural disasters, rising water, and it's still kind of stood the test of time.
Yeah, I was gonna say they get a lot of typhoons in that area, right?
I don't know if
Malaysia,
specifically here.
I don't know.
I would
Really.
think. I mean, I'm pretty sure they do, but yeah,
It's a
not.
hurricane, yeah.
Yeah, spins the other way.
Crazy.
Right. But I mean, do they? That's what I'm wondering. Like, if it's one of those, if it's a city on water, like, what are they dealing with? Like,
Yeah, I think that they probably are having
Rising sea levels.
certain natural disasters, but yeah, I don't know exactly how bad or
Hmm.
to what extent, but we'll just say really bad. So I give an answer. So yeah, really, it's kind of flat, kind of forested. All the oil's offshore. That's tropical,
right.
rainforesty, I'd imagine. Food and drink, there wasn't a whole lot. It's a lot of kind of Southeast Asian. I mean, they have curries and things.
Mm-hmm.
Their national dish, ambuyat. This thing, it looks like a bowl of goo. I don't know exactly what's in it. I think there's spices, but it's the trunk of the sago palm, and it's kind of just this mashed up goo substance.
But
But
frame anything in the form like goo and like no.
and I was reading something, and it was
Honey is like goo. That's good. Honey.
yeah, but as your national dish, just here's our national dish: a bowl of honey.
Well, what was the national dish of like Nauru or something? You were making fun of me for thinking like jelly on top of.
Oh, that
What was
that
that?
was Liechtenstein. That was the cured meat and jelly.
Hell yeah! That, I mean,
But
you didn't
again,
call that jelly goo.
but this is goo. It's so the jelly. And I think you still might be confused on what we're referring to jelly. It's not a jam. It's like broken down cartilage. That's
Yeah.
like
Ah.
a clear jelly.
Yeah.
Loaded with protein.
Probably. But yeah, I don't know. This ambuyat, you got to tell us if this is worth trying, because
Send us some. We'll get it.
send us an envelope of ambuyat. We'll try it out.
We'll send you back some fried goodness from USA. USA.
But unfortunately for this place, not too much to drink there except for like the liter of vodka you smuggle in. But yeah, that's the food. Not too much on the drink. Probably some coconut juice and tea, stuff like that, I'd imagine. Just kind of to wrap it up, some of the some of the activities and things. So I really don't get how this is real, but the first time Brunei participated in the Olympic Games was in 1988. The delegation was a single official and no athletes. So the guy walked out, on the Olympics with the flag.
Was that their participation?
Yes, but they didn't have an athlete. It was just like an administrator.
We had a committee, and well, nobody was good enough.
I'm just here for the free food.
Yeah, he's just like a
You know it's
They
representative.
there.
just wanted to live
You
in the
know it's
Olympic
here.
Village for a
Yeah.
couple days. Yeah.
So sports aren't
See what
too
poor
big
people live
here.
like.
Obviously, if that was our only Olympics, they're not really like a. They're not producing a lot of athletes, I guess, because that was their first time. I don't think they've really been to too many Olympics. I think soccer, basketball, maybe some rugby, they do, but again, not too into the sports in this place.
Hmm.
But I did see something that they had a basketball team called the Sun City Dragons.
Nice.
And that sounded like in some sort of kids basketball movie, like we'll say, some like 13-year-old kids in a basketball tournament, like the Sun City Dragons would be not the end guys that they play.
The underdogs.
No, it'd be like the guys they meet in the semifinals who are
They're
kind of
pretty
tough,
good,
not tough enough to beat them. Like it's a close game.
What was dodgeball? The Cobras? The something?
Purple.
Purple
Purple
Cobras.
Cobras,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
So I don't know if the Sun City Dragons are good. I'm sure
They're probably decent.
I'm sure they
Money.
could probably beat me in
they
basketball.
probably got some badass
Probably.
uniforms.
But
May not be. Are
maybe
people tall there? I know we don't have this kind of information, but if you
I don't
are
think they're
from there-
exceptionally tall. Like I don't think
wouldn't
they're.
think so. I was very tall in Vietnam. I was dunking on people.
Yeah, I think it's
We weren't playing basketball.
maybe.
You couldn't dunk even.
I
Not
can't
that tall.
touch the rim if I get a good running start. You know that. You know that.
So hear me out. You could go here and maybe one day you could play on the Sun City Dragons.
That would
If
be
you-
so cool.
And then you'd still not be dunking.
My
Hey, but you could be passing.
Yeah, assisting, rebounding,
Doing some really good layups.
cheering the team on from the bench.
Hey,
Wearing that sweet Sun City Devil. What'd you say?
Sun
about
City
that?
Dragons.
My
Dragons,
bad.
yeah.
all right, so let's wrap this place up. This place it's a crazy
I mean,
it's a crazy one, but would you all go there?
yeah, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see that Stilt City. Like, I mean, that sounds cool.
I just
Stilt City.
can you be like caned here, like in Singapore,
Yeah.
for like
Oh,
chewing,
yeah.
for like chewing gum, and that's what I kind of worry about. is, like,
I actually did skip that.
But
So
we're men. I mean, you got in a
but
Sharia law place.
gum.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah, you're
they,
right.
they do
That's
have they
cool.
do have corporal punishment. So you can be stoned, you can be caned, you can have your arm chopped off. But again, if you're stealing,
Yeah,
I don't think any of us are
steal.
gonna be stealing.
Liquor from other people because I need more.
You're gonna be like one of those monkeys in St. Kitts and Nevis. I'm gonna say no.
I mean, I
think maybe
so,
I'd go to Borneo, but there's nothing about this place that's drawing me in. I think there's some cool things that look nice. It's just really small. Seems kind of out of the way. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's
Good.
on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe if this guy was like sharing more wealth, or hey, drive one of these 7,000 cars if you come to our country.
I mean, can you go visit it?
Yeah, they have tourism. I don't think it's. I mean,
I think it's one of these lockdown countries or whatever.
no. I think their relation with the U.S. is good too, but I just don't think.
Well, duh, Shell.
Yeah. Oh, it's real good.
It is part of the government. Think about it.
But yeah, I think maybe if I was invited to Jeffrey's lavish party, I'd go. But yeah, not going out of my way.
If
Maybe
they told us
the-
to come on one of the yachts, maybe that gold.
Maybe the
airplane.
CountryBoyz are gonna perform for his
Yeah.
80th birthday and talk about the places.
We'll
he
do
has
a
houses.
breakdance routine and yeah, see for real.
What kind of performance?
Whatever entertains the guy. You know.
In
Hey,
exchange,
we can dream. All right. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this one up. So we've been to almost every continent so far, but guess where we're going next time? There's two we haven't been to.
Australia.
Africa, or South America.
First one,
Oh.
Nauru, is
Oh, yeah, it was Australia.
Oceania.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. Africa.
We're gonna go to Africa.
Okay.
We're gonna go to
Nice.
Gambia.
Ooh,
Gambia.
Gambling in Gambia.
Yeah, we're gonna take the
Roll the
extreme
dice.
gamble, roll the dice, and say, hey, let's see what Gambia's got. So
Can't wait. Pack your
Alright.
bags.
So pack your bags and we'll see you in Gambia.